When you don't know which way to go, follow His word. His light will guide you. Where is God leading you? Singer, songwriter, actor, Grand Ole Opry member, Rudy Gatlin is the youngest brother of the Gatlin Brothers, and he has traveled the world, won Grammy Awards, has appeared on hundreds of television shows, played for presidents, and has achieved multiple #1 hits. Today, one of his greatest passions has nothing to do with music. This is his story. This is today's Nashville. This is Faith. Rudy Gatlin.
Yes, ma'am.
The youngest of the Gatlin brothers. Welcome to today's Nashville. What an honor and blessing.
Well, thank you. I hope you can say the same when we're through. You might be saying, why'd we ask him? Who was thinking that
I was
might
so
be a good
excited
idea?
when you were going to come on. What was it like growing up being the youngest Gatlin brother?
Oh, it was tough. 2 older brothers. At times it was tough. But, you know, they picked on me a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. And then we had a younger sister. We really picked on her. No, we didn't either. No, we didn't pick on her because, you know, Dad would not put up with that. Leave your little sister alone. So I got the brunt of it. But normal childhood growing up in Odessa, Texas.
Normal. You're on your 70th year.
And now.
And I know how old you are. And you've been singing since the age of what?
2.
2.
I was 2.5, Steve was 4, almost 5. Larry was 6, almost 7. But 2, 4, and 6 just kind of rolls off the tongue a lot.
How did they even start?
Mom and Dad took us to gospel concerts, the Blackwood Brothers, the Statesmen Quartet, those gospel groups. Buy the records, come home, put them on the hi-fi, and we just started, we could hear it and we could sing it. Kids can do that. You know, they may not talk too much. Of course, we might have been talking a lot then, but sometimes kids don't say much. Get them in front of a TV program that has a little jingle on it, or a cartoon character, or, you know, we did the same thing. TV was in its infant stage, but they had little cartoon shows, and we could sing along with the theme songs to those shows. And then Mom would hop up on the piano, we'd listen to the records, she'd play them, and we just started singing. God said, y'all sing. That's just simple as I can make it.
When did she know that you were ready to go on stage or at churches? And
early. We already had some cowboy outfits. So we started singing even before March the 8th of 1955. That's when we won a little talent show in Abilene, Texas, Cavalcade of Talent. There were a couple of different divisions, and we were in the juvenile division. There was a high school, college. Well, we were the only ones in the 2, 4, and 6 division, but hey, a win is a win. Yeah. And we won our division. I should have brought the trophy. Well, darn. Why am I looking around here as if the trophy is going to show up? So we went back to Abilene a couple of weeks ago, March the 8th of 2025, exactly 70 years to the day that we won that little talent show. And had a great time. Had a wonderful time in Abilene. And we just took off from there. We'd sing at hog callings and taffy pools and
were you busy
church socials.
From that on?
Well, quite a bit. Dad moved to Odessa. He was in the oil business. He was a roughneck and a driller and a tool pusher. When you say you're in the oil business, oh, you own it? No, we drill it. He was a driller. Roughneck, the guy that worked out there on the platform, the rig floor. And the Permian Basin hit. Are you watching the show Landman?
I'm not.
Well, if you see some of the trailers for it with Billy Bob Thornton,
right.
that's taped in Midland, 20 miles from Odessa.
Okay.
That is it. That's our hometown. Those pump jacks, and that's the oil patch. And the play was big enough to keep Dad out there, although he had moved around following the rigs. The rig is in Big Spring, or the rig's in Ashburn or Wichita. He would go, get the crew and go to the rig. And that's what we do today. I've got to get the crew, get our tools, and go to Myrtle Beach this weekend. That's where the rig is, in Myrtle Beach. And then it'll be in Poughkeepsie. And Dad understood that when I explained it to him like that.
So you've been touring for almost 70 years. What was it like growing up in those early years, teen years? Did you ever think that maybe this wasn't what you wanted to do?
Never.
Never.
We didn't know how we were going to do it, but we had watched TV, Andy Williams' show that had the Osmonds on it, and we'd go, we can do that. I hate those guys. From an early age, I just couldn't stand the Osmonds or those family groups. But see, they were in L.A. singing at not Six Flags, Knott's Berry Farm or some amusement park out there in L.A. And Andy just happened to see them and said, get them on my show. The rest is history. And we're stuck in Odessa. You know, Andy's not going to come through Odessa and discover us. But we always knew that, boy, wouldn't that be great to do this one day?
When were you discovered? When was that time when you remember it's like, oh, this is it, we're on our way?
Well, Dottie West brought Larry to Nashville. Heard him sing, write some songs. In Vegas when he was with the Imperials, who were doing the vocal backup for Elvis. Then they finished that show, went across the street to the Landmark, Jimmy Dean, Dottie West show, and he was backstage writing some songs. And, you look enough like Mickey Newberry, do you write songs? Well, I've written a few. He sent her a tape, she sent him a plane ticket. And Janice and Larry moved shortly thereafter. We came a couple of months later, recorded some things at Dottie's house on a little reel-to-reel tape recorder. It finally made its way to Fred Foster, who was at Monument Records, owned Monument Records, who produced all the Orbison stuff, produced the Christopherson stuff, did some Dolly Parton stuff when she was first on Monument.
So what happened when you came to Nashville?
I came here to work with Tammy Wynette. That's another great story. That's one of the chapters of my book, how I got that job with Tammy. Great story.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, let me finish this thought.
All right.
And we cut Broken Lady in the fall of '75, won a Grammy for '76, Song of the Year. And we knew, okay, we're getting closer. And then some things started going sideways with Tammy's deal. June of '76, left Tammy, kicked it off, and started cutting records and touring profusely.
Took off.
Yeah. And that's when we knew we're on our way.
We're going to talk about Tammy Wynette, some of your other famous friends, and your faith
Okay.
when we come back.